Kirik's scales flushed dull crimson as his tiny chest heaved. Emperor Veracris gripped the edge of his booth seat, disguised in a hooded cloak among the station's diverse diners. East Hatchling sat at the adjacent table with Captain Rel Tassoon, both under strict orders to blend during this diplomatic layover. Veracris monitored every breath through the subtle bends in Kirik's collar. Protocol demanded he observe unseen. Pride forbade interference. The whiz sharpened. Kirik clawed at his throat. Heat, breath bubbled up, thick and scorching, blocking his airway. He toppled from the chair, scales scraping tile as convulsions racked his body. Diners scattered. Shouts erupted and half a dozen tongues. Veracris surged halfway up, wings twitching under his cloak. Tradition screamed for the guards. Captain Rao already barked into his comm, summoning Dr. Pabulvosan, Selimbao. Imperial protocol. Only certified draconic medics touch the royal hair. Humans? Fragile pests? Good for labor, not emergencies. Auman waitress bolted the service rail. She snatched a chill towel from her tray, station-grade cryopack for hot dishes, and wrapped it around Kirik's muzzle in one fluid motion. Air hands pressed firm, countering the heat breath swell. The towel hissed on contact, steam curling as it cooled the inflamed tissues. Kirik's eyes bulged, then fluttered. His airway cleared with a wet gag. Veracris froze. She moved like she owned the crisis. No hesitation. No deference. Captain Rel whipped out his plasma pistol. Back away, Softskin. That's the prince. The waitress, Mara Ellison, her name badge red pivoted. She planted her body between the muzzle and Kirik's, arms spread wide. Their stance blocked the shot without a flinch. Shoot me, you kill him too. Is breathing now. Your call. Rel Stalin hovered over the trigger. His scales bristled, eyes locked on her unprotected neck. Humans broke so easily, one squeeze and she'd pulp. Veracris's heart thundered. It could reveal himself, enforce the order. Tradition demanded it, but Kirik whisked steadily now, chest rising true. The human's improvisation bridged what draconic rigidity could not. Dr. Selimbao burst through the crowd, medical kit clanking. The avian physician skidded to a halt beside Kirik. What did you do? Heat-choking hatchlings requires precise cryoneedles. Mara kept her body shield firm. Towel first. Waste time. Needle him now. Selin's feathers ruffled. She scanned Kirik's, Bithels stabilizing. Unorthodox, but effective. She unpacked her kit, threading a cryoneedle with practiced speed. Captain, stand down. This is right. Rel snarled but lowered his weapon a fraction. Humans don't touch royals. They do when royals choke. Mara's voice stayed level, eyes on Kirik's. She stroked his wing ridge gently, murmuring, Easy, kiddo. Mama's got you. No fear. Pust, calm assurance. Kirik's claws uncurled and nuzzled her palm. Heat breath reduced to warm puffs. Veracris slipped from his booth. Dines parted without knowing why. He loomed over the scene, hood shadowing his imperial crest. Grail's eyes widened in recognition. Your radiance. Silence. Veracris' gaze fixed on Mara. She met it without bowing, still guarding his son. You risk your life for a stranger's whelp. Not a stranger. Mara eased back as Selin injected the needle. Kirik sighed in relief. Kit needed air. I gave it. Selin monitored the readouts. Vitals nominal. E-choke reversed. He'll need observation, but she's stabilized him. The doctor glanced at Mara, hoe flickering in her beak. How did you know? Dragon physiology isn't in human manuals. Mara shrugged, wiping steam from her hands. Serve it a lot of species. So a saurian pup choke once. Same fix. Cold shocks the heat back. She ruffled Kirik's scales. Tough little guy. Kirik's co-ed, bonding sand glands pulsing toward her. Draconic trust, sealed in crisis. Rel stirred his pistol, scales flattening. She stepped in front of my fire. His voice held grudging respect. No man does that. Veracris waited a moment. Tradition roared, whisk Kirik's to Imperial medbays, purge the human's touch as contaminant. Pride insisted on isolation. Alliances bent to draconic might, never the reverse. But competence stared back from her steady eyes. Compassion cradled his air. Power had failed here. Protocol choked where she cleared. Captain, escort Dr. Bao and my son to the shuttle. Full scans en route. Veracris extended a talon to Mara. You, come with us. her brow arched. Shift ends in 20, bustle dock pay. Your station wage, payless against the imperial favor. He kept his voice low, command laced with something new. Gratitude. Kirik's bonds to you. Tradition yields. Mara glanced at the hatchling, who clutched her sleeve. She nodded. For him, then. Rel scooped Kirik's gently. The hatchling whined, reaching for Mara. Her too! His piping demand. Selin chuckled. Bonds set. Hatchlings choose fast. Bacchus led them through the throng. Whispers followed. Imperial? With a human? Station, security, cleared paths without question. In the private docking bay, the shuttle's ramp hissed open. Kyrix rode Rel's arm, but strained toward Mara. Barcris paused at the threshold. One last calculus. Trust her fully, or revert to pride, Dr. Bao. Prep the meth pod. He turned to Mara. You stay at his side until cleared. She boarded without fanfare, settling Kyrix into the pod. Her hands adjusted the straps like she'd done it 1,000 shifts. Risk it? We're good. Red watched from the cockpit hatch, pistol secured, but gaze sharp. Never thought a softskin had fire like that. Selene calibrated monitors. Humans improvise. We follow scales. Today, it save a prince. Barcris sank into the command throne cloak discarded. His imperial scales gleamed under shadow lights. He observed Mara hum a low tune, human lullaby, as Kirix drifted to sleep. Protocol shattered, pride bent. A new equation formed. Competence and compassion outpaced power. The shuttle thrummed to life, bound for the Empire. Barcris, combass, diplomatic channels lighting up. Word spread. Auman had claimed the dragon's trust. He silenced it. Let them wonder. Kyrix steered, clutching Mara's finger. She smiled down, unyielding guardian. Barcris leaned forward. Tell me your name again. Mara Ellison. Mara. Attested it. Imperial tongue, wrapping the soft syllables. You have earned a place at my hearth. Her eyes met his. Humble but sure. Just doing my job. Rel snorted from up front. Jobs don't stare down plasma. Selin nodded. Or rewrite protocol. The shuttle accelerated into the void. Bakris felt the shift, not in engines, but in legacy. His empire ruled by claw and flame. But trust, that crust, stars faster. Kyrix peered in sleep. Mara kept watch. Captain Rel banged toward the Imperial Fleet beacon. Incoming hail, radiance. Council demands report. Vakris activated the holoscreen. Stern, draconic faces arrayed elders, generals. The prince lives, he declared, signed by human hands. Gasps rippled. Impossible. Tradition adapts. Vakris cut them off. She shielded him from her own guard, cleared his breath when protocol choked it. An elder leaned in. Auman? We underestimated. Send boys to human sectors, Barcris commanded. Learn their ways. Alliances shift. The screen blanked. Grey glanced back, respect etched deep. Wise radiance. Mara looked up from the pod. Kit steady. Can I grab water? Barcris gestured to the dispenser. Anything you require. She poured, then settled back. No boasts. Just vigilance. Selin ran final scans. Full recovery. Ere quick think Bridget my tools. Barcris nodded. Power built empires. But this woe bonds unbreakable. As the fleet loomed, Kyrix walked cawing at Mara. She scooped him close, scales to skin. The Emperor watched. Pride swelled anew. Not in might, but in the humble hand that saved it. Auman. Underestimated no more. Clear a path. Mara Ellison bellowed down the crowded station corridor. Her voice sliced through the din of alien chatter and clinking trays. Emperor Barcris froze mid-stride, his massive draconic frame casting long shadows under the overhead lights. Scales gleamed like burnished obsidian as he cradled his hatchling, Kyrix, against his chest. The little one's gills rasp, shallow, labored pulls that no imperial protocol could fix. Heat flushed the vents along Kyrix's neck, turning his whimpers to wheezes. Patrons scattered. A tentacled merchant yanked Kratz aside. Furred traders pressed against bulkheads. Mara, the human waitress from the depot cantina, shoved forward. No bow. No play to the Emperor. She gripped the prep card's handle and yanked it free from a service alcove. Wheels screeched across the deck plating. Barcris guards bristled. Captain Rel Tatoon's claws extended, plasma lance humming to life. Radiance, this soft skin presumes. Stand down, Barcris rumbled. His tail flicked once, a command etched in imperial decree. Rel bayed, but his eyes narrowed on the human. Barcris followed at a measured distance, wings half unfurled. Tradition demanded elite. Pride insisted, yet Kirix's scales dull by the second. What harm in observing? Mara slid the cart beside him. Lay him here. Fluff! Now, she patted the surface, her hand steady despite the Emperor's looming shadow. Barkers hesitated. Humans ranked low in galactic hierarchies, fragile bipeds, good for trade ledgers, not crises. But her gaze locked on Kirix unyielding. No fear of his flames or fangs. They eased the hatchling onto the cart. Kirix mewled, tiny claws scrabbling. Good. Oh, steady. Mara locked the wheels and gripped the front. She pushed, propelling them through the corridor at a jog. The cart rattled. Kirix's breathing hitched. Barcris matched her pace, strides eating distance. Guards flanked them, lances ready. Patrons gawked from doorways. A human dead commandeer, his princess transport. Yet she moved with purpose, dodging service drones without breaking stride. They reached a junction. Ventilation grills hummed overhead, pumping recycled air thick with station humidity. Kirix's gills fluttered uselessly, clogged by the warmth. Mara skidded to a halt. Too hot. Hell drown in this soup. She slapped the wall panel open, fingers flying over the access code. Station worker privileges flashed green. Bakri tilted his head, nostrils flaring. What do you? She ignored him. Whites sparked as she yanked a conduit free. Rerouting vents. Cool flow direct to his gill slits. A hiss echoed. Hold air blasted from redirected ducts, channeling straight across Kirix's neck. The hatchling's vents cleared with a wet pop. His chest rose fuller. Captain Rel leaned in, scanning the jury rig setup. Improvise. Risky. It works. Mara snapped. She resumed pushing. Cleans 2 decks down. Barcris felt the shift in Kirix's weightless frantic. The human's hands, caused from serving trays, bridged gaps his physicians could not. Pride warred with protocol. Epreston. Alarms whooped at the clinic hatch. Dr. Sellenbaugh burst out, a serpentine tail coiling in agitation. Skyla arms barred the way. Imperial access only. The prince's vitals demand quarantine protocols. Mara thrust her service badge under the medic's snout. Station emergency override. Section 7B. Critical care supersedes. Move. Celine's frills flared. Your staff, not clear for draconic. Bat says I am. Mara leaned in, unflinching. Kids crashing. You want him blue when the Emperor arrives. Bakri stepped forward then, voice a low thunder. Grant her entry, Doctor. Selene recoiled, bowing low. Dradians. I did not sense. Enter. Bakri swept past, cart in tow. Mara followed without pause, wheeling Kirix into the sterile bay. Diagnostics hummed to life. Selene darted to consoles, claws tapping readouts. Overheating cascade. Gills inflamed from station allergens. Standard purge requires isolation chamber. Too slow. Mara scanned the room. She grabbed a thermal blanket from a shelf and draped it over Kirix, tucking edges tight. Cool air stabilizing him. Your purge meds. Das half, mixed with saline flesh. Human hack for small patients. Chi, Sellenpaus. Multifaceted eyes widening. Unorthodox. Dragon physiology rejects dilutions. Trite. It's got minutes. Mara held Kirix's head steady, murmuring soft nonsense. Easy, little guy. Breathe for me. Bakris loomed by the biobeth, every instinct screaming to seize control. Emperors commanded medics. They did not yield to waitstaff. Yet Kirix's eyes fluttered open, focusing on the human's face. A purr rattled faintly. Selene hesitated, then complied. BLs clinked. She administered the mixed Bia Gill injector. Kirix arched once, then settled. Readouts beeped green. It stabilizes. Selene blinked. How did you know? Mara shrugged, wiping sweat from her brow. Served the leader of Vagar pups last cycle. Same crash. Improv beats waiting. She checked the vents again, adjusting flow. Captain Rel entered, lance slung, perimete secur, radiancy. But this human witness competence, Varkai said. A watch Mara's stroke Carrix's scales, gentle as a damp's touch. Tradition bound his empire. Strength over supplication, claw over compromise. Yet here, a underestimated soft skin commandeered his path, chilled his heir's breath, forced entry where pride blocked. Carrix's code, nuzzling her palm. Mara smiled faintly. No triumph. Joe relief. Selin ran deeper scans. Full recovery trajectory. Air intervention bought the window. Barkris signaled Rel. Escort air needs water. Rest. Mara waved it off. I'm good. Watch him till stable. The Emperor nodded, a rare deference. Our forged fleets. But this, calm hands in chaos, wove trust swifter than any decree. Hours blurred in the clinic's hum. Valkyries refused to leave, perched on a reinforced stool. Mara stayed too. Trading shifts with Selene, she fetched nutrient packs, monitored vents, even hummed the low tune that soothed Carrix's fits. Red paced the corridor outside, grudging respect cracking his scowl. She stepped between us and the prince. No armor, no weapon. Compassion shield, Varkrais murmured. Council hails pinged his calms. Ignored them. Tradition could wait. Down cycle lit the viewports. Carrix steered fully, scales brightening. It batted at Mara's fingers, playful now. She scooped him up, cradling scales to skin. The hatchling purred loud. Varkais rose. You have my gratitude, Mara Ellison. She met his gaze. Just doing the job. Kids don't care about species. Captain Rel Bank toward the Imperial fleet, beacon outside. Incoming hail radiance. Council demands report. Varkrais activated the holoscreen. Stern, draconic faces a riot. Elders, generals. The prince lives, he declared. Saved by human hands. Gasps rippled. Impossible. Tradition adapts. Varkrais cut them off. She shielded him from our own guard, glared his breath, when protocol choked it. An elder leaned in. Oh man. We underestimated. Send boys to human sectors, Varkrais commanded. Learn their ways. Aliences shift. The screen blanked. Ray glanced back. Respect etched deep. Wise radiance. Mara looked up from the pod. Kids steady. Can I grab water? Marquis gestured to the dispenser. Anything you require. She poured, then settled back. No boasts. God should vigilance. Selen ran final scans. Full recovery. Her quick think breached my tools. Power built empires. But this wove bonds unbreakable. As the fleet loomed, Kirix woke cooing at Mara. Pride swelled anew, not in might, but in the humble hand that saved it. Auman. Underestimated no more. Yet whispers stirred in the vents. Station sensors pinged anomalies. Drain stiffened. Radiance Indras. Saboteurs targeting the clinic. Barker's claws extended. Mara clutched Carrix tighter. Trust tested anew. Dr. Selenbow had the injector into Carrix's foreleg vein. The standard anti-fever protocol searched in cooling agents calibrated for draconic metabolism. Carrix's tiny chest heaved. His golden eyes fluttered. Bakris gripped the clinic pod's edge. His claws gouged the metal. The hatchling was his only son, fragile from the egg. Diplomatic stopovers never carried such risk. Steady now, little prince, Bao murmured. She monitored the holoscreen. Vitals stabilized at first. Heart rate dipped. Temperatura plateaued. Captain Rel paced behind, armor tail scraping tile. Human staff cleared out? His gaze flicked to the door. Bakris nodded. Protocol demands isolation. Then the screen screamed. Kirik's heart spiked. Triple baseline. Temperatura rocketed past critical. Scales blistered. It thrashed. Wings battering the restraints. Bow yanked. Readouts. Impossible. The serum should bind the perogens. Kirik's gasped. Foam bubbled at his jaws. Barkris lung hit forward. Fix it. Vow clawed the override. Infusion halted, but damage mounted. It's cascading. The binders are overreacting to his hybrid vigor. Wait, no. The door hissed open. Mara Ellison burst in, arms laden with kitchen trays. the human waitress from the station cantina. Soiled apron still tight, her brown eyes locked on Kirik's. "Stop everything," she snapped. She dropped trays, slammed the infusion line's emergency clamp. Fluid sprayed, rail whirled, plasma lance igniting. "Human! Out!" Barkris raised a claw. She cleared his airway earlier. "Stand down." Mara ignored them. She pressed her palm to Kirik's flank. "Wintith is burning from the inside. That serum sealed the heat in. We need gradient cooling. Ice pack cycled with saline wraps. Slow thaw." Bao snarled. Preposteros. Draconic fevers demand systemic binders. Kitchen tricks? Carrix convulsed. His cry pierced Barkris's heart. The Emperor's spines bristled. Tradition screamed. Trust the medics, the protocols honed over eons. Bao knew dragon biology, every enzyme, every scale layer. This human, a soft-skinned Cerber, half his height, no claws, fragile, sant un provembion a lucky suction. But Carrix wheezed. Vital's flatline a warning. "Speak," Barkris growled at Mara. "Why gradient? I've pulled shifts in colony medbase," she said, steady, unfazed by the lens or the snarls. "Kids spike like this, human or not. Cool too fast, shock too slow, organ, fry. Cycle it, cold 10 minutes, warm 5. Repeat till stable." Rel snorted steam. "She presumes to teach us?" Bao hesitated. "No record support." Another seizure. Kirik's tail whipped Barkris's leg. "Enough." Barkris slashed the air. "Rel, eyes from galleys. Saline, Pax, clean class. Now." The captain froze. Radiance, tradition. Now. Claws extended. Rel bolted. Boots thundered down the corridor. Bao stepped back. Mandibles clicking down. Mara nodded once. Crowded diagnostic pads. Jury rigged them into braces. Keep his wings free. They bent heat. Barkris unbound the restraints himself. Carrix slumped into Mara's arms. The human cradled him like her own. Firm, no tremble. She wiped foam with a spare cloth. Rel red tongue cry-crats. Ice chunks tumbled. Saline backs sloshed. Cloths steamed from sterilization. "Work fast," Barkris ordered. Mara tore cloths soaked half in saline, body temp, wrapped Kirix's torso, layered ice shards in the rest, bound tight into packs. No waste, no pause. She tapped her wrist calm. "Stopwatch, 10 minutes gold. Start." Pressed backs to Kirik's fever zones, neck, underbelly, flanks. Steam hissed where ice met blister-hot scales. Kirix shivered, whimpered softer. Barkris watched the screen. Temperatura edged down. Heart steadied. 5% drop already. "She's no medic," Bao whispered. "How?" Eyes on chrono. "Rotate." Barkris swapped packs himself. Warm saline soothe. Cold, high-speed next. Cycle 2. Kirik's breathing evened. Color returned. Scales dulled from crimson to bronze. Rage hovered, lance lowered, his spines relaxed a fraction. 7 minutes in cycle 3, Mara checked gums. Fever breaking. One more. Barkris, stale, stilled, pride warred with awe. Protocols filed. Pride blinded. This woman bypassed both with steady hands. No demands for glory. "Who's the child?" Stopwatch beeped. "Final swap." Kirik's coed. Eyes focused. Reaches the talon toward Mara. Vital's green. Bao scanned frantically. Thermoregulation normalized. Pyrogens neutralized. "How did you know the ratios?" Mara unwrapped the last pack. "Seen it crash enough times? Adjust. Per size." G offered Kirik's water from a spout. Elept. Bell sheathed his lance. Captain's oath. She saved him. Barkris met Mara's gaze. "No, Bao. No, boss." She ruffled Kirik's frill. "Casual. You have my fleet's resources," he said. She shrugged. "Water's fine. Kid needs rest." Alarms blared. Station-wide. Sensores flashed red. Red snapped alert. Radiance. Incoming signatures. Cloaked shuttles. Targeting the clinic vents. Barkris's claws unsheathed. Saboteurs. Breville Clan's Council dissenters. Mara pulled Kirix closer. Lock the pod? Too late. Barkris activated shields. Rel. Perimeter. Bao. Cial meds. Oots echoed outside. Lacing cutters wind on hull plating. Kyrix clung to Mara. The human stood taller. No fear. Good grip. Barcris flank her. Tradition. Shattered once today. It would bend again. Plasma fire erupted through the bend grate. Rel charged. For the prince. Barcris roared, flames building in throat. But his eyes caught Mara's move. She dragged the medcart across the door. Barricade instant. Oman. Always adapting. Shots, scourge, walls. Intruders poured in. Masked drags. Rival house markings. Protect the hatchling. Barcris bellowed. Mara ducked low. Kyrix shielded behind her body. She snatched a cryopack remnant, hurled it. Ice exploded on a saboteur's faceplate. Shatter. Blind. The invader reeled. Reel speared him. Bow fired her stun prod. Dropped another. Barcris breathed fire. Karnas whip 3. Charred armor smoked. Would more crawl through. Then now, blasters chewed the barricade. Flank left. Rel yelled. Barcris pivoted. Mara inquiring from a wall panel. Sparks flew. She yammed it into a saboteur's boot servos. Enemy locked, rigid, twitching. MP. Trick, she muttered. Grab it, Kyrix pot console. Ray-rooted power. Lights dimmed. Clinic doors slammed shut. Override engaged. Saboteurs hammered. One breach. Lunge it for Kyrix. Mara swung the sailing stand like a bat. Crack helmet cavit. Intruder crumbled. Barcris stared. Then slashed the next. Dredge failed 2 more. Bow stunned the last. Silence. Bodies smoked. Hull breach sealed by station auto repair. Kyrix slept sound in Mara's hold. Barcris bent at smoke. You fight like us. Nah. Mara checked the hatchling's pose, just on like bullies near kids. Rel's com buzzed. Fleet inbound. Radiance. Council. Hails. Holoskren ignited. Elder faces glowered. Report, the Prime Elder demanded. Barcris straightened. Prince secured. Saboteurs repelled. By what means? Humanate. Gestured to Mara. Again. Murmurs. The general's eyes widened. The waitress. She improvised cooling when protocol failed. Barricaded when blades came. Humans underestimated. The Prime Elder leaned in. Proof? Bow uploaded scans. Air gradient bridged my gaps. Recovery. Full. Rel added. She downed 2 foes barehanded. Silence stretched, then nods. Send analysts to human stations, the Elder commanded. Allies, not subjects. Screen blanked. Barcris turned to Mara. Fleet beacons throbbed outside viewports. Name your boon. She eased Kyrix into the pod. Quiet, shift, end, is good. Compassion. Competence. No crown demanded. Rel saluted her. Honor it. Bow bowed low. Teacher. Kyrix, carry at Mara through the glass. Barcris felt the shift. Empires rose. Barcris slammed his claw on the mid-bay console. Sparks flew. Explain yourself, human. Why interfere? Mara didn't flinch. She knelt by Kyrix's trembling form on the exam slab. The hatchling's scales dulled to ash-gray, breaths rasping like torn leather. Bow stepped back, frills limp. Her imperial protocols failed. Radiance. This, waitress, suggests manual compression. Barcris loomed over Mara, wings half unfurled. Steam hissed from his bends. Humans were soft things. Traders at best, pests at worst. This one smelt of station grease and synthetic caffeine. No rank, no armor, yet she cradled his air like kin. Your motive? Alliance? Data theft? Speak. Mara ripped open a steady pack. Compression pads gleamed under the harsh lights. Kids crashing. Heart rhythms off. We pump fluid manually till the outer rig kicks in. She glanced at Kyrix's twitching tail. Unless you want him seizing permanent. Rel's talon scraped the deck. The captain's eyes narrowed at the human. She downed the outer guards in sims. But this, enough. Barcris lashed. Tradition screamed. Only Imperial medics touched the air. Bow's finest. Neurostabilizers fizzled against the fever plague. Kyrix whimpered, a sound that clawed Barcris's core. One chance, one fragile soft skin. Probate. Fail, and you die. Mara nodded once. She pressed the pad to Kyrix's flank, over the auxiliary vein. Impero hold his head steady. Hal-lined, no tilt. Her voice cut clean, like shift orders in a diner brawl. Barclays froze. No one commanded the radiance. His jaws parted, fangs bared. But Carrick's spasmed, a weak convulsion, scales rippling. The Emperor moved, hiccuped the hatchling's crested skull in one massive paw. Gente, immobile. Git from his palm seeped into cold flesh. Good. Mara turned to Rel. Captain, compressor. Keeper seconds. On. 5 off. 4, no crush. Go. The Everett hesitated, glanced at Bakris. The Emperor's gaze burned. Do it. The captain gripped the pad. Pressed. Released. Pressed. Rhythm steady as a war drum. Bakris watched, every sense locked. Carrick's pulse flickered on the monitor. Erratic spikes smoothing. Mara's hands dance, swapped ports, tweaked flow valves. No waste, no panic. She hummed low, a human lullaby vibration that eased the hatchling's frills. Why this method? Barkis growled low, not releasing the head. Bow scans show vital lockdown. Compression risks burst veins. S-scans miss microclots. Mara didn't look up. Humans deal with seizures daily. Gits elders. We improvise. She tapped a sensor lead. Your text rigid. Mine bends. Brad grunted. Approval. Mid-compress. Pulse climbing. 20%. Bow edge closer. Scanner hamming. Gradient stabilizing. How did you? Kyrex bucked. Full spasm. Jaws snapped wide. Fangs clacking on empty air. Tile whipped. Cracking a tray. Bials shattered. Hold! Mara barked. She janked her thick work glove, foam line for hot trays, hammed it between Carrick's teeth. Bite the safe. Emperor braced the neck. Captain, keep rhythm. Bakris clamped down, firm, unyielding, his world narrowed to the hatchling's thrashing. Muscles corded under his grip. Carrick's gnashed the glove, foam shredding, but no self-gouge, no snapped fangs. Mara's arms pinned the wings, knees locked the hind legs. She rode the wave, body low, voice steady, easy little fire, flowing now. Seconds stretched, spasm, peaked, faded. Carrick's slumped, breathes deepening. Monitor beeped, green, stabilized. Bakris eased his hold. A stem curled from his nostrils. Alive, his hair lived. Mara peeled off the mangled glove, inspected teeth, marks. Tough kid. She checked vitals, adjusted the pod's ambient heat. Kyrick's code nuzzled her palm. Vrel released the pad. Blood scent from burst cuticles on his claws. He'd pressed too hard once. She commands like a squat lead. And reflex arcs, uncharted, he learned. Bakris activated his wrist recorder. Crystal lens whirred, capturing every angle. Compressions, padding, restraints, data streamed, timestamps, biometrics, Mara's exact grips. Sealed the file. Quantum encrypted. Tap send to the Science Council. Priority Alpha. No previews. Let them witness raw. Mara stood, wiped sweat. Ace through the worst. Monitor 2 hours. Wake him slow. You. Barkris rose to full height. Eclipsing lights. No demands? No glory? She shrugged. Back at her kid. The shift gets. Don't wait for crowns. Alarms. Red, strawbeds, hole, breach, klaxons, bridges spun. Intruders! Saboteurs breaching mid-deck. Barkis snarled, grabbed his blade. Mara scooped Carrick's into the pot, latchet it secure. Shadows moved in the viewport. Armored figures, plasma cutters, glowing, broke the brains. Rail charged. Bakris slashed the door seal, burst into the corridor. Two foes lung, Bibro axis high. Pariet. Crushed one's helm, but more swarmed. Mara peered at his flank, grabbed the saline stand, tall, weighted base, swung it like a bat. Crack, helmet covered. Intruder crumpled. Bakris stared. She pivoted, cracked the necks. Jay fell too. Bow stunned the last with her defibrillator pulse. Silence. Bodies smoked. Auto repair hissed, sealing the breach. Carrick slept sound in Mara's hold. She'd pulled him from the pod mid-fight. Barkris vented smoke. You fight like us. Nah. Mara checked the hatchling's pulse. Just don't like bullies near kids. Rails come buzzed. Fleet inbound, radiance. Council hails. Holoscreen ignited. Elder faces glowered. Report, the Prime Elder demanded. Bakis straighten. Prince secured. Saboteurs repelled. By what means? Humanite, a gesture to Mara. Again, Murmus rippled. A general's eyes widened. The waitress? She improvised cooling when protocol failed. Barricaded when blades came. Compression breach. Bows gaps. Humans. Underestimated. The Prime Elder leaned forward. Proof? Bao uploaded scans. Gradient breached. Recovery full. Rel added. She downed 2 foes, barehanded. Gavi orders. We obeyed silence. Stretched. Nods followed. Send analysts to human stations, the Elder commanded. Allies, not subjects. Screen blanked. Baklis turned to Mara. Fleet beacons throbbed outside. Name your boon. She eased Kirix into the pod. Get shift N. Es good. Gray saluted her. Honored. Bowed low. Teacher. Gyrix steered. Coed at Mara. Through the glass. Barkis felt the calculus shift. Pride cracked. Trust forged in clutch and command. Empires rose on such blades, not of steel, but compassion. But whispers lingered in the vents. Saboteurs targeted the hair. Who sent him? And why did the human sent now mark his throne room? Mara caught his gaze. More coming? Barkis bar fangs. Smile, perhaps. Stand with us? She cracked knuckles. Kids first. Rail laughed a rare rumble. Bao prepared defenses. The fleet ducked. But in the shadows, a new signal pinged. Human stations lead up council scopes. Analysis began. Barkis watched Mara tuck a blanket over Carix. Soft, deathly. His claw rested near hers. Tradition bent. A new era, clawed, free. Intruder, logs, decrypt. Traitor in the ward. Raytans. Captain. Barkis' voice low. Bet your ranks. Human watches the prince. Mara nodded. No words needed. Trust, sealed, species bridged. The hatchling dreamed on. Captain Rel Tassoon wrenched open the clinic's coolant storage hatch. Frostbeat nipped his scales. Empty canisters tumbled out. Drains gleamed with fresh cuts. Laser precise. No accident. Medic bow. Rel bellowed. Stay lashed. The deck. Sabote. Selim Bao skidded into the room. Her wings tucked tight. She scanned the seals. Cut clean. Gulan dump hours ago. Kirix's fever spikes without it. Wreck clawed his comm. Guards to clinic. Lock perimeter. The hatchling wheezed in the next room. Emperor's hair. Fragile scales flush red. One breath rattled like loose gravel. Bao dashed to Kirix's crib. Probes beep alarms. Cortem rising. We meet Cullen now, Rel growled. Protocols demanded evacuation. But docking ring crawled with diplomat unknown faces. Saboteurs, Eid among them. It couldn't move the prince. Footsteps pounded. Mara Ellison burst through the doors. Human waitress from the station cafe. Plain jumpsuit, no armor. She carried a med scanner like a try. Hit the yell. What's the read? Bao snapped data to her screen. Hatchling, hyperthermia. Dragon physiology demands cryostabilization. Canisters gone. Mara nodded. No panic. She eyed the empty racks. How much volume? Stack height? Rel snorted steam. Humans, soft-skinned, no claws. What did she know? Irrelevant. Evac protocols. She ignored him. Grabbed Bao's arm. Ilpax. Food-grade cry hell from cafeteria freezer. Non-toxic, high thermal mass. Breached the gap. Bao blinked. Improvise it. Dragon bends, rejecting purities. Tested it on a burn last shift. Seals fine. Mara bolted for the door. Rel lunge to block her. Woman, stand down. Wards incoming. She sidestepped. Calm eyes locked his. Kids cooking. Move. Rel hesitated. Her scent, sweat and resolve. No fear. Odd. He stepped aside. She sprinted down the corridor. Alarms whooped. Rails, com, crackled. Captain. Docking ring, locked down, initiated. Unknown order from observer deck. Observer deck? Barkris perch. The Emperor watched covertly, cloaked in shadows. Tradition demanded it test alliances unseen. Confirm. Rel barked. Search I-base. No ships undock. Scans active. Rel turned. Bao monitored Carix. Hatchling's chest heaved faster. Claws twitched. Rel paced. His blade hummed at his hip. Who dared Kaitor in the ranks? Diplomatic spies? Mara returned. Arms loaded with Kelpack's blue slaps, dripping frost. She dumped him on the deck. Guards piled in behind her. Wings flared. Civilian increases zone. 2 guards grabbed Mara's shoulders. She twisted free, dropped to knees. Stacked packs like bricks. Tape steady seals from your kit. Bow, toss them. Mara laid packs into a cradle. Pressed seams tight. Scammer probed. Thermal drop initiated. Flow rate. Bow sync. Matching. Bent clear. No rejection. Rail watched. Woman hands nimble, no tremble. She jury-rigged a coolant stack in 2 minutes. Packs hum cold. Improvised perfection. Carrick's wheeze eased. Chest rose, steady. Scales cooled to silver. Mara adjusted the pack. Leaned close to the crib. Whispered, easy little guy. Shifts nod over. Wards closed in again. Out, woman. She planted feet. Hands stayed on the stack. Not leaving. Temp fluctuates. Needs monitoring. Red advanced. Protocols. Prince secured by Imperials only. Her gaze lifted. Flat. Pull me, you lose the bridge. Get dips again. Bow nodded. She's right. Woman held bonds stable. My calibrations match her build. Rel's crest flared. Fragile woman. Yet she stood between death and air. No blithe. Whose will? His Emperor's voice cut the combo, disguised. Captain, stand down. Woman remains. Rel froze. Valkyrie spoke. Direct. Erection serve. Bid the guards. Surge. Intensifies. I see her. Rel waved off his men. They retreated. Tails low. Mara didn't flinch. She tucked a loose pack. Hurix code. Tiny claw reached through bars. Brushed her finger. Red knelt opposite. Scanned her face. No boast. Just. Focus. Humans. Prey intales. This one blocked fangs with gel and grit. Name, he rumbled. Mara. You, Captain Rel Tassoon. Protector. She nodded. Good. Who's observer? It tensed. Classified. Both are sent bark loyalty now. Emperor Barkis. Watches unseen. Mara's eyes widened fraction, then back to Carrick's. Smart kid. Bow chuckled. Breath steady. Fever breaks. Breaths. Camping get. Captain. Coolant traces in bent 4. Human sector. His blade his free. On it! Rouse. Aided Mara. You guard here. She cracked knuckles. Always do. Rel charged the vents. Klaus scraped grates. Saboteur fled ahead. Sent trail sharp. Guarding. Insignia. Traito eposud. Corridors. Blurred. Docking ring sealed tight. Emperor's lockdown held. Blasted fire cracked. Rel dove. Returned shots. Traitors. Spun scales. Shredded. Imperials come. Rel pinned him. Claws the throat. Who sent you? Tracian D's with the air. Human's plague. Rel cuffed him. Drag it to brick. Emperor's voice returned. Interrogate. Human watches Curix? Affirmative. Trust earned. Protocolos adapt. Rel glanced back. Clinic lights glowed Mara. Hummed to the hatchling. Soft rhythm. Curix slept deep. Guards saluted as he passed. Whispers spread. Human saved the prince. Rel gripped his blade. Pride shifted. Not fragile. Fierce. Compassion in action. Butescon signal. Deeper in station core. More saboteurs? Alerte bow. Double watch. Air reply. Mara's got it. Teaching me hell tweaks. Rel pushed to the core. Shadows steered. Hunt continued. In the clinic Curix dreamed. Mara's hand near his claw. Breach built. Barkis watch from observer deck. Screens split. Traitor bound. Human vigilant. Calculus rewrote. Tradition cracked. But the second signal pulse. Fleet inbound. Human stations. Lead scopes. Analysis raised. Breath. Breached the core hatch. Blaster ready. Footsteps echoed back. Not alone. Captain. Bow's voice overcome. Curix stable. Mara requests backup. Wards inbound. It fired into dark. Hold. Shadows answered fire. Traitors swarmed. Blades gleam. Rel roared. Charge. Mara's voice cut through static. Rail, kids good, go get them. Agreeing Fangs. Human command. Accepted. Battle joined. Trust forge in fire. Deeper scans revealed. Human freighters diverted. Eyed inbound. Emperor's new analyst worked. Barkeys leaned close to screen. Mara's blanket tuck. Soft, deadly, club-tapped console. Captain. Integrate the human. Full access. Rel's reply. Done, sire. Saboteurs fail. One gasped. Humans. Coming. Rel crushed his calm. Fleet beacons throbbed. Allies arrived. Irrix, coed awake. Mara smiled. Shift turning. Rel returned. Blood yet but whole. Saluted her. Honored. She nodded. Teamwork. Barkis descended. Identity shed. Wings spread. Human. Boon. Mara east Kyrix higher. Yetend. He's safe. Emperor Bird Fangs. Smile. Klaus. Near hairs. Tradition banned. Era cloud free. But traitor locks decrypted. We their plot. Human sent. No on throne. Whispers in Ben's linger. More coming. Mara caught golden eyes. Ready? Barkis rumbled. With you? Yes. Red laughed. Rare. Bow prepped. Fleet docked. Shadows. Pinged. Hunt. Eternal. Trust. Sealed. Species. Breach. H-Lin dreamed on. Dr. Bad. Bow's claws clicked against the med scanner. She plunged the needle into Kirik's flank. The hatchling whimpered. Golden eyes fluttering. Emperor Varkris gripped the chamber rail. His wings twitched. Protocols demanded. He observed silently. Pride held his roar. Blood sample secured. Bow announced. Her tail lashed. She slotted the vial into the analyzer. Holoscreens flickered to life. Varkris leaned closer. Kyrik's scales dulled under fever. His son's breaths rasped. Diplomatic stopover turned nightmare. Station med bay hummed with alien tech, non-dragon tuned, cross-referencing pathogens. Bow's voice stayed level. Data streams scrolled. Red alerts piled. Minutes stretch. Barkri's claws gouged the rail. Captain Rail stood rigid at the door, blaster holstered but eyes sharp. No match. Bow hissed. She tapped overrides. Not viral. Not bacterial. Toxin profile unknown. Dragon, baile, destabilized. Enzymes breaking down. Bakri's fangs ground. Origin? Environmental? Ingested? Bao shook her head. Scans show trace solvent, but known vectors. Kirik's combused Bakri's. Surge forward. Rel blocked him gently. Sire, let her work. Helpless. Tradition screamed for imperial purge. Quarantine the station. Execute stewards. But evidence? Pride choked action. Door hissed open. Mara Ellison strode in. Human waitress. Station uniform crisp. Try balance with broth vials. Room for one more? Her voice cut calm through tension. No fear in those steady eyes. Bao blinked. Civilian. Out. Mara ignored her. Knelt by Carrix. Hey, little guy. Brought your favorite diluted starch paste. Ese es de gat. Kirik's eyes locked on her. Klaus, uncurred, elapsed weakly. Barkri stared. Human protocols? None. Hushed. Rel growled low. Human. This is imperial. Mara met Barki's gaze. No bow, no flinch. Kids hurting. Was got better ideas. Bow paused. Scans. Waitress knows hatchling biology. Seen enough. 6 shifts. Mara shrugged. Drake guests react bad to station cleaners. Mop residue on floors. Trusses with bill assets. Barki's scales prickled. Underestimated humans. Fragile, soft-skinned. Jet chin in the shadow. Destit. Rambled. Command edge with curiosity. Bao snorted. Speculation. Mara stood. Labaxis. Barkris nodded to Rel. Captain hesitated. Then cued the door. Follow protocol. Human. Mara vanished into the corridor. Barkris tracked her via station feed. Beat. Covered observer habits. Died hard. She hit the cafeteria first. As naked sample vials. Tested broth stock against Kyrik's blood proxy. Scanner beep. Negative. Next galley vents. No heat. Mop closet. She janked the door. Chemical tang hit her nose. She dipped a strip. Red bloom. Gotcha. Mara bag the solvent drum. Label scanned. Uni, clean. Novi, hell. Human, safe. Dragon, warning. Billy, reactive. Barkis watched the feed. Human, improvisation. No heri, whose, nose, and hands. Pry cracked. She returned. Drumming hand. This, white floors near your hedge pin. Hatchling tracked it back. At the... play meet. Boom. Reaction. Bow snatched the drum. Slotted sample. Analythed. Word. Match confirmed. Solvent. Mimic dragon enzymes. Bile casket failure. Impossible. Bao style is stilled. How did you? Shift work. Mara wiped her hands. Go man's improvise. Save stable side. Kirix stabilized. Color return. Barkis confronted the steward via com. Audit every shipment. Now. Steward stammered. Imperial. Station standard. Fail. Barkis. Roared. Echoed. Solvent poisoned my hair. Trace it. All sources. Red mobilized wards. Station lockdown click into place. Bao mixed slurry. Mara added starches from her tray. Beans detoxin. Human gastric. Rice paste derivative. Bao ide here. Preciso sexing. Mara measured by eye. Kids math. Half human toddler. This much. They administered. Needle pierced. Kyrick sculpted the slurry. Favor broke. Varkis watched. Competence. Compassion. No demand for glory. Trust bloomed unbidden. Dije. Rel saluted. Human cleared halls. No resistance. Stewards audit pinged. 3 drums. Present shipment. Supplier flagged. Barkis claws flexed. Sabotage. Tradition urged isolation. But human bridged the gap. Mara Ellison. He approached. Wings half furled. Name your boon. She tucked Kirik's blanket tighter. Quiet shift. Ace safe. Rel granted approval. Bao nodded respect. Deeper scans heat. Supplicor locks divertid. Human freighters rerouted. Aid or threat. Traitor. Sent. Linger. Kirik's coed. Mara smiled. Dressed now. Barkis tap console. Captain. Integrate air. Full access. Rel's reply. Done, sire. Alar blared. Core hatch breach. Shadows moved. Rel bolted. Guards. Barkis shielded Kyrix. Mara grabbed the med scanner. Improvised shield. Blaster ready. Footsteps echoed, but that was minutes ago. Now, battle raged. Barkis pulled feeds. Rel charged traitors. Mara held the med bay. Her voice over calm. Kids good. Go get them. Trustforge. Deeper lugs. Decrypted. Wither plot. Human fleets inbound. Barkis leaned to screen. Mara's contact. Deadly soft. Cloud tapped. With you? Yes. Shadows pinch anew. Hand cold. Kyrex dreamed on. Safe. Barkis. Joseph. Tradition bent. Human at his wing. Station shuddered. Dogs lit. Alice arrived, or more foes? Mara caught his eyes. Ready? He buried fangs. Smile. Era downs. Rel returned. Bloodied. Saluted air. Honored. Teamwork. She nodded. Fleet beacons throb. Kyrix straight. Bow prep defenses. Whispers in vents. More coming. Barkis. Spread wings. Together. Bond sealed. Species bridged. Boot trader gasp echoed in memory. Humans. Coming. Rel crushed the last calm. Grinned fangs. Mara checks Kyrix. Shifts turning. Barkis watched her hands. Gentle. Precise. Pride yielded. Competence won. Imperial were right. Human integrated. Shadows fell. Light pierced. Etchling pooed. Trust eternal. Dr. Bao's scanner. Beeped clean. Toxin bound. Recovery full. Mara exhaled. First real breath since mob closet. Barkis noted it. Human tells. Subtle. Captain Drell posted double guards. Perimeter secure, sire. Steward knelt. Shipment manifests holographed. Diverter outer rim cartel. Anti-imperial. Barkis narrowed. And them. Mara lifted Kavix. Hatchling nuzzled her shoulder. Klaus Hento. Bow Pagir. Human slurry saved ours. My cows. Missed the starch matrix. Team, Mara grinned. Red thunder. Station comms crackled. Imperial fleet docking. Human convoy sink. Barkis froze. Humans coming. Boon or Blade. Mara met his gaze. Alice, he signaled my crew. Back up for the kid. Underestimated no more. He nodded. Wings relaxed. Door hissed. Human captain strode in armored, but hands open. Ellison, heard you needed hands. She passed Kirik's protective data. Barkis rumbled approval. Blood widened. Cartel ships, pinged scopes, red geared up. With humans, we crush. Mara shouldered. Blaster. Let's. Kyrix watched. Eyes bright. Emperor chose. Trust over tradition. Down broke. But Vence whispered still. One shadow slipped. Barkis scented it. Shh. Klaus ready. Mara notice. Nodded. Together. The end of one shift. Start of alliance. Hatchling safe. Empire remade. Competence shown. Compassion bound. Aliens aid. Human humble. Bond unbreakable. Traitors scattered. Fleet converged. Victory hummed. Yet eyes scanned dark. Eternal vigil. Kyrix dreamed dragons and soft hands. Barkis smiled true. Era clawed free. Kyrix's claws snagged Mara's sleeve. The hatchling's eyes snapped open. Golden slits wide in the dim clinic light. A giant heart. Scales rasping fabric. Mara didn't flinch. She shifted her arm. Let him burrow closer. Her hand cupped his crest, steady as station gravity. Barkis watched from the shadowed alcove. His wings twitched. Tradition screamed. Retreat. Emperors cloaked until thrones aligned. But this human held his air. Alive. Because of hair. Kyrix chirped. Weak but insistent. Warm. Safe. Mara stroked his flank. Easy, kid. Fever's breaking. Dr. Bao bustled over. Scanner humming. Vital stabilizing. Human slurry breached the toxin gap. My protocols failed there. Captain Rel loomed by the door. Talons tapping. Wars flank him. Eyes on Mara. The human ignored them. She adjusted Kirik's blanket, murmuring nonsense tunes from some Earth hab. Bakris stepped forward. Wings unfurled. Crown jewels gleamed on his brow plate. Imperial mark, hidden till now. Gasps rippled. Bao dropped her scanner. Gray snapped to salute. Emperor Varkris, Bao stammered, bowing low. Sire, we didn't know. A raised a talon. You know... now. The station's manifest delays? Forgiven. No reprisals. The stewards outside froze mid-log. Relief hissed through vents. But reforms, Bakris continued. Boys rumbled like hull engines. Human medical cross-training. Mandatory. Doctor, Bao, you lead it. Bao's frills flushed violet. Honored, sire. At improvisation, Star's matrix neutralized the venom faster than our chelators. Mara glanced up. Kyrix still clutched her. She nodded once. No oh, just work. Rail strode closer. His armor clanked. Human, Mara Ellison. Imperial commendation. Medallion of the Claw. For the prince. Extended a etched scale disc, glowing with embed hollow. Mara eyed it. Kyrix nuzzled her neck. She set him on the bed. Gentle. Pastering the medics instead. Station needs it more than shiny. Ralph's jaw creaked. Dragons prize honors like hoarded fire gems. He blinked. You refuse glory? Glory doesn't fix fevers. Mara wiped her hands on her apron. Your duck's sharp. Whose needs the tricks we pull on messy shifts? Bakri's tail curled. Humans bargained like equals. No grovel. Competence. Raw. Kyrix whined. Reach for Mara again. She scooped him up without pause. Rel snorted steam. Stubborn soft skin. Fine. Training manifest drafted by dawn. Bakrais rumbled approval. The clinic hummed quieter now. Fleet, Metrons ferried in from the docking base. Human convoy synced seamless. Cartel, shadows, scattered, crushed, between Imperial claws and those armored allies Mara called. He met her gaze. Ellison, join my ship. Vidial protocols. Cross Pethis. Mara rock Kyrix. Atzling poured. Klaus kneading her shoulder. One condition. Barkris tilted his head. Emperors set terms. Not humans. Kirix gets visits. Regular. My shift's end. I check on him. Captain Rel growled low. Bow's eyes widened. Barcrease paused. Tradition chained heirs to palace vaults till flight ready. Outsiders? Forbidden. But this one saved him, held him now, fearless. Granted, he said. Wings spread wide. Bond terms accepted. Kyrix chirped triumph. Mara grinned. Deal. Reg clapped her back, light for dragon strength. She didn't stagger. You'll fit, soft skin. Cartel remnants, flea art joint scopes. Baupact final biels. Slurry recipe locked. Uman starts revolutionary. Door hissed. Uman captain from the convoy enter. Crichton arms. Ellison, backup meds. Kid good? Mara nodded. Pastet Kirligs, a nutrient stick. Hey nod, eyes bright, stable. Thanks for the ride. Barcrease watched the exchange. Humans moved like a swarm. Coordinated, casual. No hierarchies barked. Just hands open. Kirix tugged Mara's ear. Stay? She chuckled. Shift's not over, kid. Emperor's mind raced. Pride cracked. This female treated his bloodline like spilled soup, cleaned without fanfare. Protocols bowed to her calm. A signal Drell escort her quarters. Secure. Rel saluted. Aye, sire. Uman's bunk with Hus?
Integrated. Vacrease's eyes locked up.
Trust earned. She hefted Kirix higher. Back at you. Bow trail, scanner beeping upgrades. Fleet hummed outside. Imperial dreadnoughts meshed with human howlers. Cartel, pings, faded to ghosts. Valkyries lingered. Kirix waved a claw from Mara's arms. Da. Hatchling strong. Alive. Emperor followed. Weens, brash bulkheads. Station stewards bowed deeper now. Performs scrolled on pads. Human training. First line. Corridor lights flickered. Mara head chatting with Rel. Laughs echoed. Thunder and chime. One shadow lingered in vents. Sent faint. Cartel spy. Barcrease sent it too. Mara glanced back. Nodded sharp. Ratial's hand dropped to blaster. Human captain mirrored. Together again. Kyrix dreamed in her hold. Soft hands. Strong. Aliens forged. But scopes whispered more. Outer rim stirred. Emperor's claws flexed. Humans humble. Dragons howled. Era done it. Fierce. Mara settled Kyrix in the Imperial shuttle cradle. He gripped her finger, tiny but fierce. Red powered up engines. First hop. Palace med bay. Your crew sings cargo. She buckled in. Good. Kit needs play bits, not just scans. Barcrease took command throne. Gazed at her. Why the visits? Humans scatter like spores. Mara shrugged. Kit latchet. It on ditch family mid-shift. Family, not subject, not pet. Dread banked hard. Card drone rake dotted screens. Joint kill confirm. Bow patched through. Reforms rolling, sire. Stations galaxy-wide. Emperor nodded. Ellison advises all. Fed Kirix a treat. Hast fixes. Shuttle on to fleet. Human ships saluted. Lights pulsing code. Barcrease leaned back. Pride swelled. Not conquered. Parteneth. Kirix code. Mara umed earth lullaby. Dragons listened. Trust bound tighter than chains. Captain Rel docks seamless. Airlock cycled. Guards parted. Mara stepped out. Kyrix cradled. Palace spires loomed. Crystal vaults aglow. Stewards knelt. She walked through. Bowed. Barcrease followed. Crown heavy, but lighter. Hatchling safe. Empire shifted. Uman sparked. Compassion's fire. One claw at a time. Corridors thrummed. Met by doors parted. Scanners weird. Welcome. Kyrix reached for toys. Mara set him down. Watched him wobble. Red clapped her shoulder. Commendation stands. Unofficial. She smirked. Training first. Bakri's rumbled laugh. Flyer. True. Aliens hummed. Threads circled. They stood ready. Kyrix pounced the ball. Laughter filled halls. Bond unbreakable.